So welcome to the 7th edition of NBA 2K16 News with your host, Shakedown 2012. So if you've been following Operation Sports over Twitter, well, they just linked us all to the NBA 2K16 new controls list. So shout out to Operation Sports. I'll put their link in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But I have my own opinions, some likes and dislikes of these new controls, and I wanted to kind of go over a few of them with you and see if we share some of the same opinions. Well, first up, you can now hold the left trigger or L2 to post people up. They changed that from this year because now it's currently use the triangle button or the Y button on Xbox One. You can hold L1 or LB to call for a pick. I thought that was kind of cool. 2K15, you currently hold the circle or B button to do that. You can press and hold the L1 or LB and then use the R1 or right bumper to choose roll or fade. So what you do is you hold L1 and then you tap the right bumper to choose what you want the guy to do, a roll or a fade. In my opinion, this is a lot better than the quick time event that we have right now. Circle or B to bounce pass, and that's actually really cool. I think that's better than holding two buttons to do that now, how it is currently. Now they changed it to just tapping the circle button to bounce pass. If you double tap the circle button or B on the Xbox, it's a flashy pass. So that's much different from the way it is now. I wonder what you guys think about that. That's gonna take some time to get used to because I'm currently used to holding left trigger and tapping circle or the B button in order to do a flashy pass. So just tapping circle for a bounce pass or double tapping for a flashy pass, it's gonna switch things up just a little bit, and I don't think it'll take too long to get used to. Triangle or Y for a lob pass, which is basically like the left trigger and Y, or triangle for a high overhead pass. The ones that you want to do down to your big down low if he's in the post or something like that. If you double tap triangle or Y on the Xbox, that's how you throw up an alley-oop. So if you want to lob it up, now you have to double tap triangle or double tap Y. And I don't know. I mean, that's a new method. It's kind of weird because 2K14, the alley-oop was hold square and X or X and A on the Xbox. And on 2K15, it was left trigger and square or L2 and X on the Xbox. And now we changed that again. Now it's double tap triangle or, double tap Y on the Xbox. And I kind of want to know, was this formally tested before they made this decision? Because that's a constant change. That's a change every single year. And I got kind of used to left trigger square, although it did result in a few bad shots every now and then and lots of self oops. I know a lot of you guys, I know just like me, I've thrown some self oops making that mistake myself. So, it's kind of weird to see that change again for the third time in a row. Basic defensive controls have stayed the same. However, I've been begging for an actual catch button on defense for like 2 years now. Square or X to steal just isn't really cutting it, in my opinion, in between the passing lanes. I hate to have to bank on the games.
First time I've seen anybody go on the post.
You're gonna get the business at least once a game. Intelligence, to give us the right animation. And there's been so many times where my man just deflects a pass when he could have just stole it or caught it. I said it should be like Madden, where either you hold a button down or you use a modifier like left trigger or L2, to make your player go for the actual catch instead of just deflecting it or hoping your man gets the right animation. It says here to do a putback dunk or layup, move and hold the shot stick, which is the right stick, in any direction during an offensive rebound. And that's kind of weird because right now we currently just use right trigger and square to jump up and do a putback dunk or do a putback in general. I mean, I'm sure that some people use the right stick, but it just doesn't seem to flow very easily. Unless they've made the animations way easier to come by for NBA 2K16, it just seems like this isn't something I would want to do. I hope the option to hold right trigger and square is still available. There's some new dunk controls. You now have a two-handed dunk that you can manually command by holding R2 or right trigger, which is your sprint, and moving the right stick towards the hoop while driving. Flashy dunks are virtually the same, right trigger or R2 and move the right stick away from the hoop while driving to the basket. I still wish they would bring back the 360 dunk controls from 2K12 and I think 2K13. I used to like whipping the right stick in a circle to manually control a 360. It seemed like it required more skill, and right now when I try to do a flashy dunk and my man does a 360, sometimes it's kind of risky. There's a couple of new features in the dribble controls. Your signature size ups, it says signature size ups, plural. Now it's the right trigger in R2 and you move the right stick in any direction. So does this mean that we have multiple size ups like in NBA 2K12? I mean, this is very similar to NBA 2K12's ISO motion controls. Only in 2K12 it was you had to hold the left trigger or the L2. To me, this will be phenomenal if we could choose 3 size up crossovers and some form of an escape size up. So this will be really cool. I'm looking forward to this. This is something I gladly welcome back. Try to imagine having a size up by holding right trigger and tapping the right stick to the right, and a different size up if you tap it to the left, and maybe a different one if you tap it forward. I guess the only real drawback is the timing on some of your size ups. I know now you just come down and tap forward and you can bust a move off and then interrupt it really quickly. You might have to come to a stop first, then push the right trigger, right stick forward, and then continue your dribble. I don't want to get too complicated right now. This is just all hypothetical about the controls, and we haven't even played the game yet. Passing controls, fake pass is triangle and circle, or Y and B on the Xbox while standing or driving. And when it says or driving, I really hope they retool the driving fake pass, because I showed some clips from NBA players who do some driving fake passes, guys like Rondo, Jason Kidd, some of the guys in the past, some of your guys like Chris Paul. They do driving fake passes, and it's a really smooth animation, or real smooth continuous motion that they do. And in 2K right now, to me, it looks very buggy when you see those animations. And if you don't time it perfectly, you're gonna get a lot of turnovers. Pro stick pass is still R1 or RB and the right stick. But what about the furthest man down pass, the R1 plus L1? This is not in the list of controls. This pass is vital to fast break starters like myself, or my rebounders who kick the ball out to me, and then I R1 and L1 to the man that's all the way down court. You want to hit the open player after bad shots. I hope this hasn't been removed, because this is a vital pass. Here's some details on defense. You got the pass contest. You press the right stick away from the dribbler. This is more likely for deflections, but my real concern is loose ball awareness. If the ball gets knocked loose, how long does it take for my guy to make the decision to go after the ball? Or better yet, how long does it take for my AI control characters to realize the ball has been knocked loose? The AI tends to pass the ball, get it deflected, and recover quicker than I do. And in real life, usually an offensive player is caught off guard when he throws the ball and gets it deflected. I didn't see any controls for shading the ball handler. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I just didn't see it. To me, shading the ball handler is very important. When you shade the ball handler, this means you force him or you influence him to go to the right or to the left, or you force him in a bad situation. And this is like a real defensive strategy, and it was in 2K in the past. All I see is fast shuffle again, which didn't really work this year. You would think that with all the zigzag cheese dribbling and the constant behind the back move to run to the sideline cheese, there would be some stronger, more proficient way to shade the ball handler and force him into a bad situation. There isn't enough emphasis on strong hand left or strong hand right in these games, in my opinion. Like, how James Harden traditionally goes to his left. But if there was, in my opinion, shading would be a good way to limit some of the cheese. And if they remove that option out of the game instead of expanding on it, I think that's kind of a drawback. I think they could have really, set the tone for how to play defense properly and help us to find better ways to slow down these offensive powerhouses. We also heard the dev team mention that there are new post-move animations in NBA 2K16 over Twitter. So before I go over the controls for that, me personally, I'd like to see some of those new animations, and I just want to see how that area has improved. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you guys like these new controls, if this seems difficult, if you're one of those guys that hates how 2K changes their controls every year, are new controls synonymous with a new game? Is that how it always has to be? You have to have new controls with the new game, or else it feels like the same old game. Is that how it has to be? I mean, let me know. You guys let me know in the comment section. I'm sort of for some of these new changes, and some of which I feel like there weren't enough changes, you know, so I guess we'll just have to see as time progresses. I do look forward to some gameplay at Gamescom, and as new information becomes available, I'll do my very best to get you guys that information and share with you my opinions on it. So it's your boy Shake. If you enjoyed this video, smack the like tab to show your support. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll be back with some more 2K news for you guys later. The whole team, and they all got the headband with the jerry curl, yo, just like D-Man said. The whole team is demigods, B.
He got the all black on.